All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're unpacking a complete step-by-step playbook for passing the AWS AI Practitioner Certification exam. And we're not just guessing here. We're drawing directly from the playbook of Lucy, an ex-AWS solutions architect who just recently conquered this exact test. So if you've been on the fence about getting certified in AI, or maybe you're already studying and just feeling completely overwhelmed by it all, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to break down her entire winning strategy. But before we get into the how, we really need to talk about the why. Recent AWS data shows that employers aren't just looking for AI skills. They are willing to pay a massive premium to get them. I mean, we're talking about a 41% higher willingness to pay for folks in business operations who have AI skills, and a staggering 47% premium for IT professionals. The financial incentive to upskill right now is literally staring us right in the face. The crucial takeaway here is that AI is undeniably the future of the modern workplace. And this certification, it's your foundational step to proving you belong in that future. Whether you're in IT, marketing, or business analysis, getting this specific AWS cert is a concrete, globally recognized way to say, hey, I actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to artificial intelligence. So here is our definitive game plan. We'll cover exactly why you should take the exam, the basic logistics, the top 2 study resources you'll need, a realistic 16-hour study plan, what it's like inside the actual exam, and finally, some pro tips to guarantee your success. Starting off with Section 1, why take the exam? Validating your AI knowledge. You know, Lucy already had 5 other AWS certifications under her belt and actively advised customers on AI. Yet, she still found immense value in taking this one. Why? Because it officially validates your core knowledge of AI, machine learning, and generative AI. What's really cool is who it's actually for. It is perfectly tailored for non-developer roles. Think business analysts, IT support, marketing professionals. Preparing for it forces you to take a step back, properly relearn the fundamentals, and get up to speed on exciting new AWS services you probably wouldn't have time to explore otherwise. Moving right along to Section 2, AWS AI Exam Logistics. The fast facts. So what are you actually signing yourself up for when you hit that register button? Well, you're going to face 85 questions, a mix of multiple choice and multi-select. You get 120 minutes to knock it out. The cost is a very accessible $75, which, let's be honest, is a total steal in the world of premium IT certs. And the best part? You have total flexibility. You can go to a local testing center or just do it completely online in your pajamas with a proctor watching via webcam. All right, Section 3, the top 2 study resources. This is the winning combination. Listen, to conquer those 85 questions, you do not need a mountain of textbooks. You literally just need 2 complementary tools. First step is the official AWS Skill Builder. It's a free prep course that aligns perfectly with the exam domains, meaning absolutely zero wasted study time. Plus, it has these incredibly helpful video walkthroughs of sample questions. But to cover its blind spots, you absolutely want Stefan Amarik's Udemy course too. Stefan gives you the deep dives, the hands-on demos, and critically, harder practice exams that make the real test feel like a breeze. Take Amazon SageMaker, which is used for building machine learning models, and Amazon Bedrock, which helps you build Gen AI apps. These 2 are absolute heavy hitters on the exam. Lucy admitted she initially struggled to wrap her head around all their specific features, but it was those hands-on demos from the Udemy course that let her see how they functioned in the real world, and that's when the concepts finally clicked into place. Which brings us to Section 4, the 16-hour study plan, your battle plan. Here is how you can organize your time over a single week without totally burning out. You really only need about 16 hours total. Lucy started just a week before her exam, putting in roughly 2 hours a day, and ramping up a bit at the very end. The breakdown is super simple: 10 hours of watching videos and meticulously taking notes from both courses, and 6 hours purely dedicated to grinding through practice exams. Detailed note-taking is your absolute secret weapon here, simply because there are so many specific AWS services to keep straight. Let's move into Section 5, inside the actual exam. What is that test day experience really like? Imagine it's test day. Your online proctor checks your ID, and the clock starts. 60. That number represents the minutes it actually took Lucy to finish answering all 85 questions. Remember, the official limit is 120 minutes. That just proves the time limit is incredibly generous. By finishing in 60 minutes, she was left with a full hour to just chill, systematically go back through, and double-check any answers she was unsure about. So seriously, there is no need to rush. Now, while the time is generous, the content is still going to test you. Based on the real-world exam, if you want to avoid being thrown off, make sure your notes heavily cover the core functionalities of Amazon SageMaker, Amazon Q, and Amazon Bedrock. But don't just memorize AWS products. You've got to understand fundamental concepts, too. Take overfitting, for example. When an AI just basically memorizes the training data instead of actually learning from it. Or understanding how supervised learning works with labeled data, and how generative AI breaks text down into tiny building blocks called tokens. Finally, Section 6, Pro Tips for Success. Let's look at Lucy's final advice. To completely wrap up this playbook, here are the strategic steps you absolutely must take. First, take a baseline practice exam before you even crack a book. Lucy got a 10 out of 20 on her first try. Talk about a humbling moment, but it instantly showed her exactly where her blind spots were. Second, focus on truly understanding, not just rote memorization. Third, leverage your biology. Schedule the exam for when your brain works best. For Lucy, that was a 10 a.m. booking. Know yourself. And lastly, use the AWS free tier to actually click around the SageMaker console yourself. I really want to pause on this exact quote from Lucy's strategy. Your goal is to score higher than 70% on the exam and not to get 100%. This mindset shift is a total game changer because it removes so much unnecessary pressure. Actually, scratch that. It removes all the pressure. You don't need a perfect score. You just need to understand how to apply the key concepts well enough to pass. Once you accept that, your study sessions become way less stressful and infinitely more productive. So you've got the 16-hour roadmap, you know the exact resources to use, and you have insider knowledge of the exam room. What is stopping you? The financial incentives are loud and clear, the barrier to entry is just 70%, and the ultimate playbook is right in front of you. Are you ready to take that very first step toward your own AI certification today? And hey, maybe even aim for the Machine Learning Associate exam next? The playbook is yours. Now it's time to execute.